Hey. So yeah, right away I think about you, Cosmic Drifter, because I know that you appreciate it when I make videos regularly. And I it's like the cycles. It's like the cycles in a season, like cycles in a person's life. I follow my cycle. This is not a job. This is something I do because I want to. So that's why it happens. I'm happy to announce I actually have a vinyl update. It's been a long time since I've done a vinyl update where I have records new to my collection to show you, and I have some today. And it all stems from, I'm going to keep showing this because I'm so proud of it. It stems from winning this award. I went to one of my favorite record stores today. I haven't been there in months because of the reality of my situation. No money. But they sold all of their copies of Murphy and Flyover. So I had credit. And I decided that I'm going to use the credit for what I want, which is to buy records. That's what I enjoy. So I used the credit to pick up some records from the store today. And I'll show you what I got. I just got them. I haven't even played everything. Okay. Excited to be able to share with you a vinyl update. Most of these are used, but in great shape. Okay, so the first one is an album that I passed over many times to get home to realize, oh, I thought I had it, but I don't. Okay, so now I have it on vinyl. New High by Kenny Wheeler with Keith Jarrett, Dave Holland, and Jack DeJohnette. On ECM is a label that, again, another label that I love, and there is not. I would get into an argument with someone who says that ECM sound. That's in my opinion, that's a shallow perception of what you're hearing coming from this label. High quality, atmospheric music. They don't use preset reverb. It's rooms and stuff that we hear. That stuff irks me, okay? So I'm just expressing. This is a fantastic album on ECM. Kenny Wheeler passed away not that long ago. A few years, maybe a year, I don't know. Excellent, really happy. And it's in great shape, like brand new. There was another ECM there I did not have. Miroslav Vitus, First Meeting, with John Sermon, Kenny Kirkland, and John Christensen. Czechoslovakian bassist who started out in Weather Report. I got to see him when he was in Weather Report live. His music is always wonderful. I had not seen this before, so it was used, and so I picked it up because I really like the band. Einstürzende Neubauten, Berlin Babylon soundtrack. I put a bit of this on, and right away I like it. The way the band constructs its sound is very intriguing and textural. They use a lot of texture. As you know, they started out quote unquote industrial, using a lot of heavy pieces of machinery and disused stuff like that. And so the legacy of their sound is, a big part of it is texture. And that intrigues me alone, to just study what I'm hearing and where it's coming from. So I'm happy to pick this up. Two more. The other two I bought were new in the store, sealed. Pierre Schaeffer, La Trièdre Fertile. I would guess that means the fertile earth, perhaps. Pierre Schaeffer was one of the first people documented to experiment with tape, literally. Speeding up backwards, recontextualizing sounds. He started the GRCM with Pierre Henry in France, way on the cutting edge of electronic and electroacoustic music. So when I saw that they had this in on the GRM label recollection, this is music to or sound, as it were, to learn from. I mean, I love this stuff, but a big part of what it does for me is, now, I can listen to music in many different contexts, but my primary context is not listening to music just for like a comfortable frame of reference, or I'm thinking about somebody and so the song is accompanying my thoughts about somebody. That seems to be a fairly universal use of music. I'm generalizing, so don't take it with a grain of salt. But myself, a lot of times when I'm listening, what I'm doing with the listening is learning and looking at what does the sound of what I'm listening to, what does it lead to, what does it unlock? Imaginatively, thought-wise, I just like exploring sound and music. So this is wonderful. I mean, I just sampled the first side of this, but this is some really good stuff if you're interested in the history of electronic music and electroacoustic music. Music Concrete, Pierre Schaeffer, one of the first, one of the giants. And the last thing I got, thank goodness for the credit, because it's something I would not have been able to have afforded otherwise. The reissue of the soundtrack to Alejandro Jodorowsky's The Holy Mountain, music primarily by Don Cherry and Jodorowsky. Limited edition of 500 copies on blue vinyl. This movie is a trip. I do have it on DVD in my collection. I went through a period of being into film, and particularly underground and foreign films, so I collected a fair amount. Don't watch films like I used to, but this is one that I endeavored to collect because of the psychedelic nature of it. And this is on a beautiful blue vinyl. I just started to play one side of it. Fascinating music, wonderful, kind of ethnic sounding, tribal. I don't even need the movie to get into what's going on. It's very fantastic. The Holy Mountain. So, new records in the collection. Really happy to get them. Really happy to get them. Just right quick, I have one of the boxes out of my closet is out because I was, like I said, I wanted to be able to access my Jefferson Airplane. Some of the other records in the box, these are classic albums that I'm out of room for, but this is stuff that I don't want to sell because it's fantastic. David Crosby, If I Could Only Remember My Name. One of the first ambient albums, in my opinion. Ambient rock. I didn't show this last night because Paul Kantner was not in the Great Society, but I have this early Great Society, Grace Slick, before she joined the Jefferson Airplane. Some other albums in this classic rock box. Iron Butterfly Live. Saw them live. They were excellent. The Doors, Morrison Hotel. I don't mean to be arrogant, but I do kind of know my rock history. Fleetwood Mac, Then Play On. There's a few different versions of this. This is not the collectible one. I'm just glad to have a copy of it at all. I mean, the box is a little bit mixed up. Doors, Soft Parade. I mean, look what I got, Dylan, Blonde on Blonde, on vinyl. Okay. Matter of fact, let's see. This is probably a fairly old, it's beat, but 2i. It's beat, but it's old. It's an old, one of the first few runs of this album that I have. I've got Dylan. I know my history. I got Jethro Tull in the box. Seen Jethro Tull twice. Fantastic band. More Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac with Peter Green. Who else I got in here? Just this particular box. Basement Tapes, Bob Dylan with the band. Okay. Deja Vu. This is a fantastic album. Deja Vu, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Just thought I'd show that for folks who have been watching and maybe wonder, or maybe don't wonder, because you don't see me showing a lot of what I consider typical stuff in collections. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's like, well, everybody knows about these records, so I try to tell you about, you know, that's always been my forte, is what else is out there. What else is out there besides all the great shit? There's other good stuff out there, so what is it? And that's what I've been trying to find out about. But I have the classics. I got pretty much all the classic bands. I have something by them on vinyl. The big ones, you know, from The Who to Led Zeppelin, Stones, the big ones. I have them all. Last thing I'll say for this video, because I want to say it, you know. 2 videos ago, at the end of the video, I went ahead and let out some much needed emotion. I knew it was going to trigger some people, but I needed to do it, and I want to talk about it, okay? At the end of my video before the one about Paul Kantner, at the end, I rant a little bit about, and I give the finger to the people who have made it their business to try to run me down and ruin my reputation. And I heard from 2 people, one through Facebook, who said using that finger reflects badly on the community. And we talked, and it went well. But I want to just go ahead and say here on the record, you can tell me that I am the Godfather. I am not the Godfather. I'm Dereck, and I'm here representing myself. I'll say what I need to say. This person who is concerned about perceptions because I use the finger has no idea what I've been going through. I have been violated. I've been psychologically assaulted. I mean, these hillbilly motherfuckers literally started a website or 2 to try to defame me, you know. I mean, how ignorant is that? Don't even know me, don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you're going to do an action like that that could actually truly cause damage to my life? What kind of people are these? You know, I've been holding that shit back a long time, you know what I'm saying? That's why I keep saying, you know, if you showed your faces and we could talk about it, well, it would be discovered very quickly that there is a problem here, and it's not me. And you all started it. I didn't ask for this, so that's where that's coming from. I'd like for it to be done, but I know there's so many stupid, uneducated, ignorant, hateful people in this world that I'm going to be dealing with motherfuckers, and I'll call them that. You know, the thing that I have discovered, no, this is what I know from life experience. Whenever I have problems with people and I have a chance to in person address it, a resolve has always been able to be reached. The only time it isn't is when it's obvious then, after you've tried to be reasonable with people, that, okay, that either you have a problem with mental health, mental illness, which I'm very well versed in, person is kind of ignorant or not very intelligent, okay, can't think very well, okay, and then other times it'll be emotional, you know, where the person's just dug his heels in, has decided, you know, they've decided that what they see is what they see, and they're going to act on it, you know, which is very dangerous. That's where you have these loudmouth people getting into arguments with people and telling the other person, shut up, I don't want to hear anything else you got to say because this is the way it is, and I'm not hearing you anymore. How ignorant, how low, how stupid, okay? And that's the kind of shit I've been dealing with, you know. They don't say nothing because there's nothing intelligent for them to say, you know. So that's where that came from. And God forbid I have to do it again. I want to be left alone. I didn't ask for these motherfuckers to be trying to just decide they know who I am. Read my face, okay? if I could meet these people in person, we'd settle this shit right away, and it wouldn't be physical, because these people are wrong and they're full of shit, and they need to face it and leave other people alone and take care of their own stank. Okay, that's one other thing I'll say, because I've heard from people who are friends and fans who didn't quite understand what was going on right away, and that's usually the other thing that I find out that needs to happen. A lot of times people don't understand what's going on, and that's where they'll have a problem, because they don't understand what's going on or what you're saying. I can explain myself very well, especially in person, okay? We can reach an understanding, Like I said, the only people I know personally who still want to have a problem with me are people whose mental illness has come to the fore and it disrupts their ability to see things clearly. And they want to paint me as, anti-them because I decided to stop playing their game, okay? And we do that with people. We go along with shit for a long time just to not upset the apple cart. Well, fuck it, it's not worth it, Be real with people, be honest, and move on.